Yeah, I would have been a florist, but of course the pay wasn't very good then. It was only about £0.50 a week then. Which is about, what, 12.5 pence? It makes you laugh, doesn't it? But I mean, yes, so I was allowed to go on a machine after a while, but we used to go dancing. There's 100 girls, and just the foreman, because he was exempt for some reason, or probably a secure job that was they needed him for the munitions, you know. Anyway, we used to go down the dome dancing to the big. We chose weekends because it was big band sound like Billy Cotton and Geraldo and the Squadronaires. They were all big bands. The Squadronaires were the Air Force band, and we used to go dancing down there. Well, there used to be an organist and his wife. They used to come up in the interval of the band having a rest in between the dances, and he would play his name was Douglas Reeves, the organist, and his wife was Joyce. She was a singer. And we used to have talent night Friday nights. But what made me laugh, there was a sailor, he couldn't go home to his wife and kids because he didn't have any money. So we asked him if he could dance or sing or tell jokes in the Friday night talent night. And he said, no, I can't do any of that. So we said, surely you can sing a bit. Anyway, we dotted the girls all round the dome in the balcony and everything, and we said, when Nobby comes on, you applaud, because they was judged by applause. And all these girls all round the dome, all different sections, we went mad when Nobby came on, and it was terrible. And the compere said, I don't know how this young man won, he said, but I have to judge it by applause. And he got some money to go home to his wife in London. But really, but I remember the Mum took a job up the station because there was munition made up the station, Brighton Station, and then she went to the Grand Hotel because the Air Force was stationed in the Grand Hotel and the Metropole. And along King Alfred's, I don't know if you know where the King Alfred is, along King's Road. Well, that was occupied by the Navy. But we got a lot, not as much as London. They used to come over from France, the German plane, and make for London, you see, because that was their target. Any bombs they got left, they'd go home, they'd drive. The little Spitfires would chase them out of London, and of course they've got any bombs left, they'd drop them on anywhere, Lewis, Brighton, anywhere, and then they'd have a fight over the sea, the little Spitfires. But I mean, we saw many. They called them dogfights, you know.
Did you used to go and watch them, or? Yeah,
but it was like firework night. All the searchlights and things. And the noise was horrendous because all the guns would open up. Because all along the seafront, underneath the Esplanade, there was big guns, you see. And of course, we couldn't go to the seafront, not in their teenage years. And yes, it was very noisy and very.
So when that happened, did you seek shelter straight away, or did
in the dance hall, we used to announce, ladies and gentlemen, this is a raid going on, because it was. They'd sound the air raid warden siren first, and then they'd sound what they call the pips, which is the enemies overhead. And so we go under if we wanted to. But he said, if you want to dance on, we'll just play a bit louder to deaden the noise of the guns, you see. But they were all on top of the big hotels. Yeah.
So when you did shelter underneath the dome, what was that like?
What's that?
What was it like when you sheltered underneath the dome?
Oh, do you know what? I told you the first time, we took our pillows and our blanket, and there was a notice in front of a pillar in front of where I used to sleep, and it said, if you use of our munitions, keep it dark. Ships or planes or troop positions, keep it dark. Lives are lost through information, so here's a tip for the duration. When you've private information, keep it dark. So, and of course, all the forces came, but we didn't have a lot of Americans. We had more Canadians and French and things. And of course the pubs were full of servicemen and singing. Can't imagine the singing. They were always singing and dancing. And I remember Mum used to say, she liked to drop a whiskey, my mother, and she said, every hour on this pub she used to go to in the Burlington in Kemp Town, and they would serve whiskey on the hour. Right. I wanted to find my mother once because I'd broke my arm and tell her the sad news. And you never see anything like it, because I watched them on the hour. They were like a lot of wolves and madmen to get because they only had so many bottles of whiskey to serve on the hour. You never see anything like it. But I mean, the pubs were full of servicemen, of course. And it was really, I mean, we really had laughs. It wasn't all gloom and doom.
Was it quite usual for women to go to the pubs?
Pardon?
Was it quite usual for women to go to the pubs then?
Oh yeah, oh yes. Yeah, easy. But quite acceptable then. But we used to have a nice music hour in the munitions. Of course, even in the factories, no matter how loud it was, they'd still play music. And we used to have a show called Workers' Playtime. And all the girls would be singing. It was really nice. It was really jolly, you know. So we made ourselves, yeah. But the rationing was awful, of course. Mum couldn't get enough eggs to make my brother, because he was away. He was in the BEF and British Expeditionary Forces. He went from Dunkirk to Egypt, Italy. He was in the Battle of Monte Cassino. Yeah. So he was in the Royal Artillery.
So do you remember Dunkirk happening?
Fun?
Do you remember Dunkirk happening? Dunkirk? Did all the boats go from Brighton?
What I remember about Dunkirk is that they're little fishing boats. Our fishermen used to go out and meet the big ships that had come over, what escaped. My brother was at Dunkirk with my husband, but I didn't know my husband then. But my brother couldn't swim. He was on the Dunkirk beaches, and they were shelling and I don't know what as the forces tried to get onto the big boats. Well, he got on one, my brother, and here in half, and he got on. He had to go to the beach, but he couldn't swim. But my husband saw him from his ship, and he said, "Swim, Bert, you bloody fool," or whatever we called him, a few other words. I can't swim, but he did. He swam that day, and he never swum in all his life since. Shock. His hair was white when he came home. He came home with just his trousers on, and his hair was pure white. He was dark-haired, and the shock. Anyway, he swam, and he never swam again.
So
Never.
on the
It was
day
a sheer shock to get away.
on the day he came home, did he come home to your family house where you were living with your mum?
He came to, no, he went to along the coast somewhere, for probably Southampton or something, because the big ships weren't there. I mean, then he could go so. But our little fishermen used to go, the Rolfs and all sorts of fishermen. Yeah.
Did you ever get involved with politics? Were you aware of politics at the time?
Politics?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Did anyone talk
Well,
about
when you're young,
Churchill
you don't, do
or?
you? When you're young, you don't listen to politicians, do you? I love Churchill's speeches, because he gave us the will to go on, you know what I mean? And when the threat of invasion came, my mum said, "Oh my God, I'm going to take all you girls down to the seafront and drown you, because if we get caught by the Germans, like, you know, And she said, perhaps they're llamas. And you never see such a personality in all your life, my mother was. I thought, llamas? Imagine her with a gun in her. Oh dear. It was funny, but it was tragic. But, of course, it didn't happen. But, I mean, but there was a terrible air of threat, you know. Yeah, that we were going to be invaded. Because it was only the Channel Islands, wasn't it?
Mm. How afraid were you during the air raids?
Pardon?
How afraid were you during the air raids?
What?
Afraid? Were you particularly scared?
Afraid?
Yeah, did you feel quite safe in the shelters, or?
Oh no. No, yeah, I was scared a bit, yeah. You can't help it, can you, really? I mean, you couldn't help it with all that noise going on. But I mean, a sailor threw me in the doorway once because this plane came down and it was machine gunning all like this, and he just threw me in this doorway and I grazed my leg and arm. But I mean, he saved my life because they were machine gunning all up this street, you know.
Did you see the plane as it
They
went
tried
past?
to get the little factories and things around us. And they bombed the little Odeon in Kemp Town one Saturday morning. Oh, that was dreadful. My two sisters were younger than me, and Mum said, I said, the air raid warning went. She said, Molly and Iris have gone to this Astoria, that's my sister's. She said, Astoria was on the main London Road down there. And she said, they've gone to Saturday morning in pictures. She said, you better go and get them home. Anyway, I went to the Astoria and a girl came up, she said, who are you looking for, Win? So I said, Molly and Iris. She said, no, that was at the Odeon. She said, they went to the Odeon first, and then she said, oh no, they said they've seen that film, they're going over to the Astoria. Well, they bombed the little Odeon and you never cease to sight in all your life. There's all little kids. And they were running up and down to the Sussex County Hospital with babies in their arms and all. Quite a few died. But my sisters had changed their mind, fortunately, and went to another cinema because they'd seen the film. But that was so sad, you know. But yes, but we had the Canadians here, and we used to go to these big dances for the sailors and get their food, because they used to have nice food, and we were rationed. So we used to take a bigger handbag. We used to say, go and get us something to eat, starving. While they went, we used to put it in the handbag. And some sailors said to me, I'm not bloody marrying you, you eat too much. Because every time you've only got me something to eat, it was disappeared. But we got enough cake and stuff to last us a week. Well, there was I was out one Saturday afternoon with my friend along London Road shopping, and this army truck was at the St Peter's Church. And he said, hi girls, you want to go to a dance? No, to a dance. I said, yeah, no, where? So he said, Lou's. So I said, oh no, I'm not going to some dirty dive, it sounds terrible. I said to my friend, no, can't go there. Anyway, on the Monday morning we went to they said, why did you come to Lewis and get to that Canadian dance? They called it Lou's, you see, the Canadian. Why didn't you come to Lewis when there was loads of food? I said, Lewis. He said, Lou's. I said, I thought it was some dirty